So today I had a great idea. I got up in the morning and then I thought, hey, let's check what videos lately on TikTok have gained some traction. And I saw that a lot of people have resonated with my videos about why there's no energy, right? Why do you have the energy crash? You're working your whole day, you start your day very energetic, you kill it at work, and then you come home and then there comes this slump and this energy crash and you have no energy left for your wife, for your kids, right? And especially as an immigrant living and working in a foreign country. That's for you. If that resonates with you, if you are an immigrant, having lived abroad for 10, 15 or 20 years, and you're close to burnout and you just don't have that energy to do anything after work, you may want to listen to this. I listed 13 reasons why your energy is very low and what's basically burning up all that energy reserves that's inside of you, right? Because a lot of times when we wake up in the morning, we are more or less, ready to go, energetic and all of that. So in no particular order, all these things just came to me, right? This is not some list that I came up with, using ChatGPT or anything. This is my lived experience, and this is all of these things is what I've gone through as an immigrant myself. I'm 46 years old, and I've lived half of my life abroad. At the age of 23, I emigrated from Latvia, which is my native country, and I went to Ireland, and now a couple of years ago I moved to Spain, right? So I know a thing or two what it's like to live away from your home country, what it feels like, and all of those issues that come with it, right? So thing number one, you may hold grudges against someone. So you've had a lot of issues back in your home country and you still hold those grudges against those people, right? So as you go about your daily business, a lot of times your mind wanders, right? And it goes back. It goes back to those things, all those things that they did to you, and you hold grudge, you are resentful, and it burns your energy because every time you think about it, you are reliving that experience. You're literally reliving it. It's as if you are putting yourself back there, and that burns some of your energy. And remember, your energy is a finite resource, right? You wake up in the morning and you can think of your energy bucket being full. Well, on a lot of occasions, it's just, half full or 1/3 full. And if you're really burnt out, then you can't really get out of your bed, There are people in situations like that. So obviously in that particular instance, there's no full bucket. But let's talk about the average, right? The average foreigner who's been grinding it and gets up in the morning, gets the first shot of coffee and is ready to go, right? So you have that full bucket of energy, and every time something extra burns it, that's it, that's gone. There's no getting it back, right? So you have to think of it as your currency. It's very precious. So if this old grudge is eating at you, it's just burning some of your energy unnecessarily. Next, being homesick, right? Are you living with that feeling that you just don't want to be here? You moved to this country for money, for better opportunities, to start a family. There's a better, chance here to make it than back in your home country, and that's why you did it, but you are homesick. You don't want to be here, right? And that homesickness is constantly there in the background, right? It's kind of this gnawing, pulling feeling, right? And it's eating some of your energy as well. And after a while, what might happen is after those 10, 15, 20 years, you may find yourself in a situation where you're no longer, feeling yourself as part of your home country. You go back there and they they look at you and you feel like a stranger, right? You're no longer a local, and at the same time, you're no longer you're never gonna feel like a local in the new country. It's like you're torn apart between the two worlds, and you no longer belong anywhere. And that is burning your, a lot of your mental energy too. The fact that you're, literally torn apart, you don't belong anywhere, and that makes you feel constantly, a bit depressed, sad, and all of those things, right? And then guilt. Guilt is a big thing. Oh man, how guilt can burn your energy, right? And it's not only burning your energy, but also your finances. You moved away from your home country, and likely your parents stayed there, right? And you're feeling guilty for having left them there. And as time goes by, obviously no one gets younger. It's life, and your parents are already elderly. And every time you think of them, your heart just squeezes, and it's bad, right? Like, yes, you had to make it. You have to make that step in your life because of the fact that there were very little opportunities back in your home country. But still, it's not good. It's not, you don't feel good. And you're sending them money, you're supporting your parents as much as you can, you're visiting them, you're going back home every so often, which also burns your finances and your energy that you have for your wife, for your kids, for things that really matter to you, right? And I'm not saying that your parents don't matter to you, but what I'm saying is that this guilt is burning your energy. It's a very, very strong emotion. And it's a very low vibration emotion, meaning that if you're feeling guilty, it's akin to, death, basically. It's that kind of energy. Super low vibration energy. And it's basically killing your life force. And it also sucks a lot of energy out of that bucket that you had full in the morning, right? Or maybe half full only, right? Now, another thing that sucks your energy out of you faster than you can blink is being around toxic people and getting triggered by them, right? You are in your work environment and you just can't stand certain people. And the moment they open their mouths, you think, oh, here we go again. And it triggers you and you can't help but to feel that anger, frustration, and irritation, right? And it doesn't feel good towards the end of the working day. You feel like running away from the workplace, You can't, oh, that's my wife. She joined there. Thank you. Thank you, my sweetheart, for joining. And thanks everyone for joining this live. And yeah, where were we? Yeah, this constant getting triggered by the toxic people, right? That fact that you're getting triggered, you may think that the reality is such that those people are toxic and you're the victim and you don't want to be here and you just feel like running away from that workplace. And maybe you have already changed a job because of the toxicity in the office or whatever, right? Only to find yourself in a similar situation again. It happens. And it's not because those people were truly toxic. Well, some folks are, right? But more often than not, it's that internal feeling that we have inside of us that literally, as a radar, seeks out the toxicity in others and finds any reason to get triggered. And that's another factor that, burns our energy. Okay? Now, another big thing, inability to solve problems in your life. You may be this person who is, the good guy, the good girl. Well, I would imagine that there are a lot of women, watching my content as well, but I'm kind of predominantly gearing everything that I'm saying towards men, being a man myself, right? So you might be one of those men who finds it hard to draw boundaries, say no, the nice guy. You want to be liked, you want to be good, right? You want to be good as a husband, as a father, as a son to your parents. You want to be good to your colleagues, to your boss. You want to be liked. And on a surface level, it might seem like a good thing, right? Who doesn't want to be seen as a good guy, right? As being a good person. But what it does is every time you don't say no, every time it happens, you give up a portion of yourself. And the internal core knows that. And there's an internal conflict going on. And every time it happens, that internal conflict burns some of your energy again. So how many things have we gone through down the list? 5 or 6 or something? And just think about, right, the fact that you had that bucket full or half bucket full of energy in the morning, and now all of these suckers are sucking that energy out of you. No wonder that come afternoon, you feel this massive slump sometimes, right? Or maybe not just sometimes. Maybe it happens every day. Now, next up, if you're living in this, survival mode pretty much your whole time, if you are in this fight or flight mode the whole time, that's also a massive energy burner. You literally can't calm down. Your nervous system is on high alert the whole time. So if you are that kind of person, for whatever reason it happens, it burns your energy, right? It burns it. And next down the list, traumas that you've had, that you've suffered. And if you haven't resolved them, again, you remember those things. Whatever might have happened to you in the past, back in the home country or wherever, maybe you suffered some serious traumas. And every time you think about it, it's like reliving that experience again and again and again. And you might have tried to suppress all of that thing, forget about it. Put it in the closet, so to speak. But that proverbial skeleton wants to come out. And if you don't allow it to come out consciously, that skeleton is going to come out in other ways. It's that pressure that's, encapsulated in your body that wants to come out. So it comes out as stress, as an illness even sometimes, right? And it burns some of your energy. It does. And then also unresolved traumas from your childhood. It's kind of a different category, right? So the first category was known issues, non-traumatic events that you might have had. Maybe you were attacked or assaulted or abused and you remember that, but maybe, and not maybe, but most of us have gone through traumatic experiences when we were children. So typically between the ages of 0 and even in your mom's belly, when you were just a baby in your mom's belly, and up until the age of 6 or 7, that's when a lot of us go through traumatic events as children, and a lot of times we don't remember that, but it leaves this emotional and sometimes even physical mark on our being, right, on ourselves, and that burns energy too. We don't kind of consciously even think about it. We don't know what's happening, but all of these emotional patterns that are inside of us burn emotions. And typically those are burn energy. And these are typically, of course, these low vibration, bad emotions, destructive emotions, such as guilt and resentment and anger, especially suppressed anger, right? That burns a lot of energy. So, next up, being a control freak. When you're constantly trying to control things, control your life, control your environment, control your work, control your kids, control your wife, and maybe you don't do it in real life, but maybe you're just doing it mentally in your head. You're constantly trying to fix the world, right? And that also burns a lot of your energy, because you are not just sitting back in a driver's seat of your life and allowing the car of your life to just drive, and just steer it. Instead of that, you're frantically trying to control everything about it. Use every gear, switch, lever that is at your disposal, right? and it's burning twice as much energy as if you were just trusting the fact that you're a good professional and you're going to get the job done right without trying to control everything and making sure 3 times over that everything is done correctly. And admit the fact that, you know, sometimes you can make a mistake and you're not flawless. But again, it's easier said than done, right? It's not that simple. It's not just, oh yeah, just admit that you're a human being and you can make a mistake. It doesn't happen like that, because that internal feeling, you know, that same thing that is burning your energy, it's not easy to get rid of. It's not easy to just let go of and release and just be done with it. It's not that I'm just telling you guys, yeah, you got to stop doing that. You got to stop holding the grudges. You got to stop, being the control freaks, and everything is going to be fine. And all that energy that was burned by those things is going to return back to you. No. It's not that easy. You can't just stop doing that. If it were that simple, we would all be happy, wealthy, with no issues whatsoever, living the best, lives that we can, being the best versions of ourselves. It doesn't happen like that. It requires a lot of work to get rid of those destructive emotions, of those emotional patterns, subconscious programming, and all of those things that we have taken upon ourselves as if that were unchangeable trait of our personality. But it's not the case. It can be changed. And I know that because I'm a living proof. I've done it all myself, and I've undergone a massive change, and now I can give the same miracle to you. You just have to come to me to a free consultation. Sorry, not a free one, a paid consultation. Why I said free? Because I used to do free consultations, but there's a lot of value to be gained from that consultation. So now it's a paid service, and you can get it on EnglishHarmony.com, right? Now, let's go back to the things that burn your energy. Control freak, that one we covered. Yeah, constantly being distracted by something, right? Paying attention to media feeds, to doing the scrolling and all of that sort of thing. If you are constantly distracted by that, it's not just distraction. Every time you pay attention to something, even though it's just a distraction, it's still your attention. And as Tony Robbins says all the time, where your attention goes, where your focus goes, energy flows. And in this particular occasion, right, your energy gets squandered. You're constantly on your phone, scrolling, looking, checking videos, TikTok, blah, blah, all these feeds, right? You can't even put your phone down when you go to toilet, right? And it's burning your energy. You maybe don't feel it, which is the next point on my list, right? Because you are being constantly stimulated. You are stimulating yourself. Caffeine, sugar, nicotine, all these substances. That's constant stimulation because you want that energy, right? Wake up in the morning, first thing, boom, coffee. Maybe a cigarette, right? Then some sweet snack on the tea break, and then before lunch break, and after lunch, and on another break, and come the evening, you've had 5 chocolate bars, a pack of cigarettes or half a pack of cigarettes, and 5 cups of coffee, and you feel like, yeah, you're hanging in there, the energy reserves are kind of there, but it's only because you've been, really tricking yourself, tricking your body, tricking your brain. You've been running on empty, really. You just caffeinate yourself, nicotine, it's all stimulants. You're stimulating your nervous system. But it's actually having the opposite effect. Because when the evening comes, boom, no energy crash. Because you've been overstimulating the hell out of your nervous system. And then a couple more things left. Basically, not being here and now. If you're not here and now, if you're constantly wondering about the future, about the things that will be, and about the days gone by, and all of those things that happened in the past, if you're constantly somewhere there in your thoughts, and you're not focused on the matter at hand that you're doing, You're not focused on your life. You're not fully living and experiencing your current moment. If you are always somewhere there, again, it burns some of extra energy. Because if you're in the here and now, if you're living in the moment, and you're in the flow state, which is the best state to be, hands down. Hello, Inga. Another person that I know joined. Thank you for joining. Yeah, if you're in that flow state, then all that happens is you just give, right? You have tons of energy, and it's at that point it's not a matter of how much energy there's left or whatever. You just are. You just experience yourself, and that's the best experience to have, right? But if you're constantly somewhere in your mind, boom, that's a constant drain on your energy reserves. And the last thing on my list, the 13th list, is feeling like an imposter. If you're constantly feeling like you're not good enough, like you don't belong, and you're questioning yourself all the time, and that's especially important when it comes to professional settings, right? If you're feeling like an imposter, and you feel like you don't deserve the role that you have, you don't deserve the position that you have, it's constantly eating at you. It's eating at you. You feel like you're out of place, like you're not the right person, as if you're not yourself. And it's a very again, it's an emotion that has a very low vibration, and it's a bad, destructive emotion. It's draining your energy, and then you come home, and no wonder that come the evening, you are useless. You're no good to your wife, to your kids. You can't do anything, and you just hope that this day is going to end sooner, and then you can do some Netflix a little bit or whatever, eat something sweet before bed, and just close your eyes and wait to black out. And maybe that doesn't even happen. Maybe then the opposite effect kicks in. You are depleted of energy, but then the insomnia comes, which is an entirely different beast altogether, right? So thank you for joining, whoever joined. So today we touched upon 13 things that burn you out as a foreigner, as an immigrant, working and living in a foreign country, being away from your home. And you are very welcome to come to my website, englishharmony.com. On that website, you can get a session with me. You can get a consultation with me, during which I will show you which is exactly the kind of thing inside of you, which is the emotion in your particular case that is burning you out most. And guess what? You'll be surprised that it's probably not the thing that you think it is, because our subconscious hides. It hides a lot. It's basically things are hiding in plain sight. So when I do these consultations with people, people are really surprised, And then we talk about where you really want to go in life, what it is that you really want out of your life. And again, these sessions are full of surprises. You may think that you want the good life, you want the family, the house, the car, the vacations, or whatever. But when we start talking and unpacking it all, things come out that you've never even thought of, right? So this consultation is really worth a lot, and it could in and of itself be a game changer for your personal transformation. So thanks everybody, and have a good night. And now I need to look for that button to end the live.